I'm Anthony Tran. This is my second year teaching at East Kentwood High School in the social studies department. One of the biggest things is, for me growing up, I never had a teacher that understood me culturally. And I always grew up in inner city schools, so all my teachers were either African American or white or Latino or Latinx, but then I never had a teacher that was Asian American. No one that would understand anything at home. And last year, one of the big reasons that was like my big teaching moment was I had a student also come from a Vietnamese background. His parents were refugees like mine. And he just came to me, I was teaching family relations, and he was like, "Mr. Tran, I don't know how to talk to my parents." And it was a big language barrier between mom and dad and son. So growing up, I had that same type of situation where I didn't really look to my parents eye to eye. And I was like, I'll share you my experience. And this is why I was like, I want to be in education, was to help those students who grew up, had very similar stories to me, is to help bridge that gap. Like, this is how life works. This is how I experienced it and figured out my way. And hopefully that helps you figure out your life too. Initially in college, I was placed at a different school for my student teaching and assisting year. And I fought to be in Kentwood mainly based off of, I met two people that work in the district already, which are Johnny Liu and Sulin Weaver, which are great mentors of mine already. And they're like, "Hey, you should try coming to Kentwood." And it's like, it's a diverse background here. The staff is wonderful, the admin helps us here, everything. And I took that information, I was like, maybe Kentwood's the place. So my initial year, my assisting year, I worked at Valleywood with Bobby Joe Zorhoff, and I fell in love with the district. It was great. I saw how the district worked with each other. I saw especially how the staff worked with each other, and I fell in love. And from that, my second placement was supposed to be at a different district. And I went to my coordinator, and I was like, I want to stay at KPS. I fell in love with it. I know the staff pretty well. I know people work at the high school level and the middle school level. I didn't want to work anywhere else. I saw a picture of myself in the building already. So I went to my director and I was like, "Hey, I want to go to KPS." There's a little bit of pushback, but at the end of the day, I was like, I need to be here. I need to work here. I fell in love with it, and I couldn't see myself anywhere else. So a lot of my biggest belief in the classroom is from one of my older teachers that taught me in high school. Was his philosophy was, before you teach any subject, you have to learn how to teach people. You have to manage those relationships in class and create this culture in the class before you learn anything. Because if you don't feel like you belong in the classroom, you're not going to learn anything. But by creating that culture in the classroom and being able to relate to every single student, that takes a long time to get to, but once you get to that point in class, you can teach a kid anything. When they leave this classroom, it's, I'm cared for. Mr. Tran remembers everything that I do outside of school. I see him outside of school, my games and things along those lines. He's an active participant in my life. And he does what he can to make sure all my ends are met. I'm Anthony Tran, and I'm proud to be a teacher at East Kentwood High School.